This world is very cruel for a man. And more so because the modern man has no control. There is nothing he's making happen. Things are happening to him. The system is laid out, clean cut against him. You are coming home to dysfunction. You are coming home to chaos. You are coming home to watch from the front seat your own life falling apart.
Yeah. I had put a camera in my son's room, and that camera used to record audio and visual as well. So that night when I was away, I could hear the whole conversation between her and her aunt talking about me as she was busy throwing my things in the garage while her aunt was helping her. Because it got to a point every time it was time to go home, there was this, I was very uneasy, very anxious, and I couldn't understand why this is happening.
Yep.
But like you see, from, like I said, looking back now, everything makes sense. The things I went through, some things I can't even mention here, but like it was crazy.
Bro, if it's any consolation, there are married men in that exact situation right now. Right now. Whatever you felt at the time and your conscience was strong enough to draw you back to your frame, 99% of married men are experiencing that on the daily, and there is no hope of a way out for them because they sold their soul to the society, to the religion, to the family, to the social cycles. So now they live their life for those other people and they have completely lost themselves. And you are talking because you're on the other side of victory, right? They cannot talk. They cannot talk. What are they going to say? I have made peace with my Stockholm syndrome. They cannot open their mouth and talk. And I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. So, and the mission here is to put doubt in you that the whole enterprise is predicated on the fact that that is not your child.
Do you know, I've thought about it, and I've actually sat down and thought about it both ways. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'll do it eventually. Now that's another story. When I get the chance, because she started playing games, so I haven't been able to see my son. And I got to a place where I said, no more games.
If there was no child support involved, and everything else stayed constant, where you want to go see your son and she makes it impossible to see your son. If there was no child support involved, she would have slipped it in there. This is not even your child. But there is a monetary value. She is 3 years older than you. I don't know your life more than the 45 minutes we have talked. But the events that led to her pushing you to kill your own business should guide you to a path that you've been scared to peep and see what is behind the curtains. The flavor of life for a man is pain. Men embrace pain. Women embrace darkness. Hello?
Mr. IQ Watson.
What's up, my friend?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Sorry, I missed your call earlier.
Are you Mr. Australia?
Yes, I am.
There you go. Talk to me, mister.
Yeah.
And you had said that you wanted to remain anonymous.
Yes.
Was that in the IG message or here you?
That both actually.
So when you say anonymous, is you don't want to mention your name,
Yes.
but you want to tell your story.
Yes.
Okay. So where do we start?
Where do we start? I just actually the reason I just reached out. I saw, I think there's some content you posted about Kenyans in diaspora and all that. So it's I resonated with that story, and I thought, oh, okay, so it's happening everywhere apparently.
So you are talking about how Kenyans undercut each other in abroad.
Yeah, Kenyans undercut each other abroad massively. But anyway, that's besides the point. Though.
No, before we go away from that point, in your manifesto on IG, you had alluded to the fact that you served the Kenyan community, and I know you're going to tell me that story in full. You had served the Kenyan community, you had opened a business, and then when things went south for you, the same Kenyan community turned against you, and the women opened a WhatsApp group to name and shame men. That's part of the story you want to give me, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to jangle your memory of how much you have told me.
Yes. Pretty much the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately there's a group of very, how do I say it, bitter, angry women that just decided to open a group where they actually go ahead and name and shame men.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you actually wonder what do they really want? Is it because we're in a foreign land? If someone wants to be friendly with someone, and it's just a bunch of it's a small group of women that have just decided to try. So every sort of new person or new lady that comes into the region, they make sure they enter that group because it has well over 1,000 women, because it's a women's group anyway.
Is it like the terror group Kwitu?
Yeah, more or less. Something like that.
What do they call themselves?
The group here.
Yeah. Al-Qaeda faction of Australia. What do they call themselves?
If I mention the group, they'll definitely know who mentioned it.
But you say there are thousands of people in the group.
Oh yeah, there are thousands, but ladies only. It's a female group, but of course these other females have boyfriends, they have husbands in there. So anything they post in there, it gets out either way.
So they thrive in terror. You are even petrified to mention their name. So they are truly a terror group.
Oh, they're terrorists, I'm telling you.
Hey.
It's a group that is known to the authorities because they've been reported more than thrice, but the leader, for lack of a better word, the leader is like, I don't know if she's okay.
Abubakar al-Said. What about the leader?
The leader has no fear because even after being reported, because there's no repercussion being taken, they'll just keep posting.
Yeah, African immigrants are going to destroy Australia. It's unfortunate. That destruction is going to be led by South Sudanese and Kenyans.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
I don't think such a young country with such a small population is ready for the influx of the degeneracy of the African societies.
No, they're not. They're already struggling. I mean, if you look at the cases on the news every day here, South Sudanese, I don't know if it's South Sudanese, but like mostly, they say people of color on the news.
That's what they call them? People of color?
Yeah, people of color. So if something happened, say there was a robbery last night, they say, and there were African appearance. So that's what they call them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that country is too young to accommodate that many wrong people. Wrong people. And now, besides Kenyans and South Sudanese, the next population influx is Burmese, Myanmar people, and Bangladeshis.
Bangladesh, they've been here. The mainly, they're everywhere.
Yes. Degenerates.
Yeah,
and then Filipinos to some extent.
And then, yes, and Filipinos as well.
Degenerates.
But you know your background. You've done your research.
I don't know why, bro. Degenerates of planet Earth. They are going to destroy the ecosystem of Australia. Australia is going to be a third world very soon.
Yeah. If they're not careful, it's heading a very. It can head south very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's dial back. Let's go to the beginning. Why are we here?
Yeah, so I hear a lot of that. I've been watching the stories, and men are really suffering out here. I mean, my case is just one of out of probably over 1,000.
Yeah.
So I met this girl anyway.
I met this girl. That's how it starts.
I met this girl. I came to this country pretty much by myself. We met here.
Hang on. How old are you?
I'm 30.
And what year did you get to Australia?
Sort of 2016 there.
Okay, so you've been in there solid 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you met a girl. No, she met you.
Yes.
Men don't meet girls. Men do not have the privilege of meeting girls.
Okay, yeah. Let's say that she met me. Yeah. Yeah. So we started. Of course, we got to know each other. We dated some time, and then I looked at her and I said, you know what? This is actually not bad. Someone I can try and see a future with. Anyway, to fast forward all that, so we got together. Then one day I decided, okay, you know what? Let me send my people to go and see her people.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, by that stage, we already had a child.
Which year did you meet?
Yeah.
Okay. What year was your child born?
My child, 2022.
Okay, so very recently.
Very recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we met anyway, and then so we did a good 7 years together. But now that was nothing. There's so many things that when you're outside and you look at the situation from behind is when you realize the extent of the things that you went through.
Yeah, it's called hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm holding my head so that doesn't fall in place, because you said you did 7 years together, but you have been in Australia for 9 years.
So we did, pretty much we started dating as soon as I got here, say a year after.
Who met the other first? I mean, who came to Australia first? You met her in Australia.
Yeah.
So it was, and I'm going ahead of myself here, it was a Kiokoto Chakokoto.
That one was a Kiokoto proper one.
Where. Is she older than you?
She's. She's older by 3 years.
How did I know that? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm holding my head with both hands. Go ahead. What?
So we started a business. The business ran for some time, and then I started another business. So initially the first business didn't do well. So that one we closed it. But it didn't do well for some reasons that actually it's pretty much lack of the support, because I was given an ultimatum. It's either we choose the business or you choose me. So so I had to.
So
I chose.
you started a first business together. Do you want to tell us what the product was?
Let me not go into the product, because I'm actually, if I mention the product, they'll definitely know me.
Okay, so you started the business together and it did well to a point where you are starting a second business.
Yes.
And this second business now is the one you're being told to shut down or choose the business or her.
The first business is the one I was told to shut down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll listen. I'll stop getting ahead of myself.
So that first business, I closed it, and that was the biggest mistake. If anyone asked me about, that was the biggest mistake ever, because then COVID came, and the product we were doing would have done so well during COVID.
The product was at the bottom of the Maslow's pyramid of needs. It was a basic need product.
It was a basic need during COVID.
Yeah.
But back then we didn't know COVID was going to happen. So
yeah.
Right now, I keep thinking I would have been probably a COVID millionaire, because it would have done so well. Yeah. So anyway, fast forward, I shut the business. I started another business.
Yeah.
Which started very well. It did very well, but we didn't have enough market research and didn't understand a few things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So things happened. The business went a little bit down, and then now we started having the wrangles now with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the respect had gone, everything, from her. Specifically, the respect had gone. Now there's a child involved. Looking back, I don't know how I survived that long.
I know that feeling, bro. I know that feeling way so well. I keep going back to some years in my life, and I'm like, what happened between this and this other period? Because it was a daze. I don't have any memory of it. It's a daze.
Yeah.
I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know, yeah, but abroad, I'm sure you've noticed, time goes so quick.
Yes.
You really wonder where time goes.
It does.
Yeah.
Because in first world, the calendar is full.
Yeah.
The calendar comes already shaded. You have to squeeze yourself into it. There's no empty calendar in first world.
Yeah.
So in sub-Saharan Africa, everything is so laid back and slow. You know that saying, there is no hurry in Africa. It's very laid back, and you have to make things happen. Over there, you have to catch up with things because things are already happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why time runs so fast in the first world.
So quick.
Yeah. So the baby comes in 2022.
Yeah, so the baby comes in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I decided. I'd already decided. So I'd already proposed, but then after proposing, something told me, just hold on, just shikilia too a little bit longer. So I managed to do another 3 years before now I decided to to do the white wedding, which we'll get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, coming back now to me, I call it the discard, because the way I was, the way the things she did to me in the end is not is not for a normal human being. So I like to phrase it as the discard. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So what happened?
You proposed after the baby or before the baby?
Before the baby.
Before the baby.
Yeah.
Okay. And so after you proposed, you said, "Let me slow things a little bit." But in that slow stage, the baby shows up. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, both of you are not going back to Kenya. You're just sending your representatives to meet each other's family.
Yeah, we're just here. So
Yeah.
we're just sending people from back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now the baby comes. We do life kidogo here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But at that stage, it's we're just what do you call it? We're just like brother and sisters in that house.
After the baby came.
So after the baby came here, pretty much everything just went to shit. So anyway, we stayed for a while, and then we started working things out again, and then now we started planning for a white wedding here in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So we had made all the arrangements, all the decor, all those things, paid the deposit and all that. It never. So it didn't get to that stage. Obviously, we didn't. The wedding didn't go ahead. Everything went into the bin. That money, most of the money that we had already paid out to the suppliers, they said the vendors. Pretty much they could not refund because it was cancelled last minute.
Okay, so number one, whose idea was it to have a wedding?
Oh, it was her idea.
And what happened in between the preparation and the wedding date that made everything go south?
So it got to a point where I just got tired. So I was just floating. So I was just floating, and then I got distracted somewhere else. But so I was on and off. Got distracted, then back, and then I was just on and off, and I was just there because I didn't want to. They say men never leave marriages or relationships. It's the women who do. Despite the hurdle, it's very hard for them to leave. So I was just there. I was just hanging there.
So when you say you are just there, you're distracted, you're in a daze, would you say you were struggling to face the reality that whatever you are doing is wrong, and you are almost too far gone because now you have to perform for the culture and the society and the friends and the person involved, and on the other side your conscience is telling you it's never going to get any better if it's already going south at this moment, even before you are officially married. Is that the struggle that was going on?
Exactly. You put it out very well.
Yeah.
That's exactly what was going on, because I knew it was not going to get any better. But for some reason, I just had to. I was still there. So even when the discard happened, initially I didn't. I still struggled with it. But looking back now, I'm actually very grateful that it happened.
So, do you know you are the exception? Majority of people and I can only speak for Africans because I understand African cultures. Majority of Africans, young men like you, in that situation, they cannot fight off the need in their conscience to do the right thing. And they end up giving in for the culture, for the family, for the church, for the friends, for everybody else except them. Because they rationalize everything is, if I call it off now, what is the church going to say? It's going to bring shame to the family. What is the society going to say? What am I going to tell my friends? And from that point on, they become slaves to the conditioning of the social norms, and they completely lose themselves. So at that very point, it is you know that struggle there is where in the Bible says that there was a big struggle between good and evil, and good won.
Yes.
That is the struggle. You are struggling with your conscience, and it is this other side. There are all these social constructs that want also to be considered in you making very bad decisions about a future that is solely yours. But at that time, at that point, you are being made or being tempted to perform for the culture, to perform for the family, to perform for the church, to perform for the African God, to perform for anybody else. And the chances are 99% of the people, they lose themselves at that point. And you escaped it.
Yes, I agree with that. I completely looking back.
Yeah.
I completely lost myself in that relationship. Completely, even my business vision, everything, because it got to a point where now I was doing things to try and make her happy. So I put all my things aside. You know, I was struggling, you know, to get my mind to think about business and think about how I can, you know, grow this future or you know, make sure that my sons, you know, like have a good future.
Oh, you have a boy?
I put everything. Yeah, I have a boy.
Man, that's nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Boys are easy.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So you wanted to make another human being happy.
Yes.
But
much.
in the natural order of things, and I know the society is so far gone because of the conditioning of the feminists that this is now is going to sound too controversial. In the order of things, the woman is the one who is supposed to make the man happy. The woman is the one who is supposed to serve the man.
Yes.
But the modern man has been conditioned to a point that what I'm saying now is offensive. You even in your manifesto to me, you alluded to the fact that you even sold a car or something like that.
Yeah, there's a point I sold my car to pay for her school fees.
You found her there.
I found her here.
She had come to go to school.
Yeah.
She had come there to go to school.
Yes.
You were not her family before she came to Australia. You were not involved in her plans of traveling to Australia to go to school.
Yes.
And you meet a perfect stranger and her future plans becomes your present purpose. Kwani mnataka uchawi ikuwe kitu gani ingine kama hiyo sio uchawi? Viena bereke no bia. What?
I had no business doing that.
Have you listened to a similar story by another Australian Kenyan a Kenyan in Australia that told me exactly the same story?
Yes.
You listened to that story?
I did.
So you saw yourself in that story.
I saw myself. That's why I related very well with it, because I've been there, and probably it's something that I've never even shared with them. It's only me and her would know that story.
No way. I was told a similar story by a young man, 35-year-old guy in Cameroon. He did exactly the same thing. Picked up a girl, took her to school, educated her. She finished school, she got a job, opened a business for her. They had a child together, or so he thinks. And then one day, she got up, picked up the son, and left. Same MO.
Yeah.
When you have seen one, you have seen all.
Yes.
Why? So
yeah.
we were at, you tried everything to make her happy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely everything. Even at school, I helped her pay. She finished. She finished, graduated, got a job, and let me go back there. When now she got the job now, hapo ndo mahali madarao sasa ikaanza. It's more madaraos, because I remember there's a time now, because let me just be frank, there's the most of the things, the biggest thing she was doing is taking my clothes to the laundry, kuweka ndani kwa washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So now when things started becoming shaky, there's a point I remember, I'll never forget it. She told me, okay, I'm happy to take out the clothes and put them in the basket and take them to the room. No, what was it? Yeah, take them to the room, but I'm not going to fold them. You'll fold them yourself. And I was like, man, I think this thing has actually gotten to its end, and I need to start accepting it.
Wow.
And then there's another time.
And you're living in the same house.
Yeah, same clothes. And we were fortunate enough. My mom came. She stayed with us for a year and a half.
And help with the baby?
And to help with the baby.
Yeah.
So when she was going back, she just sat me down and told me, I'm going back home, not happy, but you don't have a wife. Man. And that thing stuck with me. And when we were doing the Rora show, mm-hmm. my dad asked me, these things you're doing, do you know this girl? Do you know the background of where she comes from? Do you know the father? Do you know the mother? Do you know exactly where she comes from? And I brushed it off. And I've come to accept that my father was trying to tell me something that he could see, but I could not see at the time. Now I see it.
So you indicated that she is a Murima girl. So you are not a Kikuyu yourself?
No.
So this is a clash of the cultures also involved here?
Yes.
And your father is hesitant, but at the same time, he is wanting you to make your own mistakes as an adult and learn from them. But he is frank enough to tell you what his reservations are. Your mother straight out tell you that this is not wife material.
Yes.
But you're so blinded that you cannot see it. In our language, and I know you have heard me say this this proverb multiple times. In my language, we say, the neigere na gatatu ya kagorani. There are two different universes, and a third one for a sweeter. A sweeter is in a totally different universe than anybody else. Nothing Nothing from the outside gets to a man in love. He is in his own echo chamber, and the world can try all it wants. He cannot hear it. Your mother tried. You couldn't see it. Went home very sad, very disappointed, very worried. And there is nothing worse than an adult child worrying a mother. She told you her words. Your father told you his own reservations. But you are in love with yourself. Obviously. Kwa nini nakudunga? Kwa nini nakudunga? Kwa nini nakudunga? Kwa nini nakudunga? Kenobia. We. Bro, mimi nasikia uoga on your behalf. Na hujaniambia nusu ya story.
Yeah.
I'm already getting scared.
It's bad. It's bad.
Because I know that feeling, bro.
Yeah.
I know that feeling all too well. I know that emptiness in your gut. It's a very bad place for a man to be in. Because
it is.
When everything is said and done, what is at stake is purpose. And there is no man without purpose. And once that purpose is taken out of the equation, once you lose focus on your purpose, once you desert your purpose and start chasing these other things, then you lose those things and you lose the purpose. The formula is so easy, a caveman can do it. Just stay on your purpose, everything else will pour in. But we are often tempted to do the opposite. All of us have fallen short. All of us. And that feeling, bro, I'm feeling it on your behalf right now. I am right now, my mind is going back to the moments where those instances are so clear in my memories. Multiple times. And that struggle you had, that's the consciousness in you. And you have a very strong conscience. Because that struggle with yourself is your conscience. Telling you, man, you need to go back to your frame, back to your purpose, back to your manhood. That consciousness in you is very, very strong. Because it's at that fork in the road where men lose it completely. And they take this wrong turn, and it takes them 20 years to recover. And you had the pilot, Eric, every other day with Eric. You had him alluding to something like that. Yes. You take a detour, it takes you 10 years to come back. Majority of people fall for that. I am feeling
Absolutely.
that. I am feeling that emptiness in my stomach right now as I listen to your story.
Absolutely.
You are coming home to dysfunction. You are coming home to chaos. You are coming home to watch from the front seat your own life falling apart.
Yeah. I remember because it got to a point every time it was time to go home. There was this, I was very uneasy, very anxious, and I couldn't understand why this is happening.
Yeah.
But like you see, from like I said, looking back now, everything makes sense. There was no respect in that house. There was no. It was the things I went through. Some things I can't even mention here, but like it was crazy.
Bro, if it's any consolation, there are married men in that exact situation right now. Right now. Whatever you felt at the time and your conscience was strong enough to draw you back to your frame, 99% of married men are experiencing that on the daily, and there is no hope of a way out for them because they sold their soul to the society, to the religion, to the family, to the social cycles. So now they live their life for those other people and they have completely lost themselves.
I feel for them.
Bro, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And you are talking because you're on the other side of victory, right? They cannot talk. They cannot talk. What are they going to say? I have made peace with my Stockholm syndrome. They cannot open their mouth and talk. And now you find, we are going to digress for so many times. Now you find those men, if they interact with younger men, they pass the wrong information.
Yes.
Now they are a danger, not just to themselves and the families they are raising inside the dysfunction, but also to anybody who pays attention to what they say, especially if they are in a position of power and influence, where they can stand up in front of people and tell them anything. It's a skewed messaging.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back now to your threshold where you are coming home to dysfunction.
Yeah, so I mean that house was pretty much where I just, it's a place you just go and lie your head down, wake up and go do whatever you have to do, but it is not a home. That was not a home. I can tell you that for a fact. And then now to bring in the mother, I actually feel, unfortunately, it's not that I can hate her because she's still the mother of my child, and I just look at her now from this angle and actually feel sorry for her, because you look back at the mother, the mother pretty much went through the same thing, or did something to the same, did something similar to the girl's father. So the girl has grown up bitter. So even for us to get to that point where we're going to do a wedding, it was a miracle, because the mother never got to that point. And I was very curious to there's a point before the wedding, I used to tell myself, I'm going to look for that girl's dad. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was very curious to know the real story, because the story that she's grown up with, and I look at the mother, it doesn't add up. Doesn't add up at all. So I was very curious for the longest time to look for this, to look for the dad, and just ask him, man, I'm about to marry your daughter. Or what's the story? I want to give you that respect, as her father, as much as you did not get the opportunity, to be in her life when she was growing up, and that's for reasons, it's only him and the mother know.
Mm-hmm.
What is the story?
But you never did.
Yeah, but I never did.
Did you ask to be connected and they shut it down?
I brought it up once, and it was shut down as soon as I brought it up. Because he reached out. There's a few times he tried to reach out to the girl,
Yeah.
once in a while. But you could see the disconnect was there. The damage was already done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's something that I'll never get the answer to. Probably the next person, because I know she's the kind of person, she can't stay alone. So unfortunately, another boy child is going to go through the same thing I went through. I hope he'll be wise enough to go and do his research.
Well, that is a they problem, not a you problem.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's go back to the events that led to the cancellation of the wedding.
Yes. So yeah, pretty much I was talking to somebody else, and not talking in terms of like a bang or can't do anything like that. Just someone I was talking to that gave me attention. So I said, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. So she came up to me that night. I remember it very well. She came up to me and said, look, I think we should postpone the wedding. My heart is not that. Those were exact words. My heart is not here. I said, okay, bro, you should have seen the reaction she gave me. She was so shocked that I just said, okay. Because for the longest time, like I said, I was trying to do everything to make her happy. So I was the focusui. Like,
Yeah.
So when I told her, okay, and I didn't give her any reaction, she was very shocked. She was very shocked. So she went out. I said, okay. So she went to the next room, and she was doing some things. I think she went to really think, this guy is not fighting me anymore. What is not happening? So she asked for my phone. I gave her my phone. And then that other lady I was talking to just happened to be calling at that time. So I told her, pick it up. She picked up the phone, drama. I said, I'm not dealing with this anymore. She called her family. Her family came within seconds. You'd think that the police, bro, they helped her move me out of my own house.
Because now you no longer have the exploitable vulnerability that she was banking on. I mean, that's why she got shocked. Because everything she was doing is to manipulate you. And now exactly. you exhibited characteristics of somebody who no longer have a manipulatable vulnerability. She was like, what is happening? Let me check on the phone to see if this guy has moved on, because this is unlike him. You're supposed to be chasing me. How can you stop chasing me?
Yeah.
So she came knocking and you opened the door.
Yeah.
And she was shocked to find that she has emptied every feeling out of you. Now she's searching on the phone to see where did that feeling go.
Yeah.
And as long as you are chasing her, then she survives, because that is what keeps her going. You chasing her. The moment you stop chasing her, now she knows things are going to go south. Because all this was empty bravado. I mean, you already know that. You just said she cannot live, she cannot survive on her own. But she needed to transfer the need for each other to be coming from you to her and not her to you, which should be the order. You are the guy with the formula, but she makes you believe that you need her for the formula to stay alive.
Yeah.
So her family lived in Australia.
Sorry?
Her family was in Australia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they show up.
Yeah, so they show up. They pretend, okay, what's happening? You know, we don't want you guys to separate and all that. I just said, you know what? I was actually leaving for work at that time. So I just said, I think there's nothing more to talk about. Let's whatever has happened, transpired today. Let us just sleep over it. Me, I'm happy to move into the next room while I look for a place to go. So it ended there. I left them there. Me, I went. I booked a hotel that day, and I stayed away from home. So the next day, I come home, and I find everything, all my belongings, my clothes, everything in our bedroom were thrown in the garage on the floor, my friend. I didn't say anything. I just picked up whatever I needed to pick here and there. I just packed a suitcase. I went back to the same hotel. Bro, I stayed in that hotel for 3 weeks.
Man. Is it one of those called extended stays?
Yes,
Yeah.
extended stays.
Yeah.
So I didn't, obviously I could not carry everything. So I still had to keep going back home also to check on the boy.
Yeah.
So one of those days that I went back home, I put in the key to open the house and it's not opening. So I'm wondering, okay, what's not happening? So at that time, the auntie had come from Kenya to come and help with the baby. So she opens the door and I ask her, so Nani has actually gone ahead and changed the locks for a house I pay for, bro. And then the auntie just says, no, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, so I said, I'm here to pick up a few things. I'll pick up and go. And then a few minutes later, I see a call from Nani. Let's call her ex. So now she's my phone is going nonstop. She's calling me. I didn't pick up. She sends me a long message and tells me, if you're not welcome in this home anymore, if you come back here without my consent, I will have to involve the police. No, she said, I'll have to do whatever it takes to keep my family safe. I'm like, okay.
Now you are a danger.
Someone has told you. Now I'm a danger.
But remember, let's redial back. She walks into the bedroom and tell you, we need to cancel the wedding. My heart is not in it. At that moment, it was her plan.
Yes.
The moment you gave the wrong response, you became the problem. So much of a problem that you were evicted from that house that day. But she had walked in with a plan to cancel the wedding. How quickly that got forgotten?
Yeah.
But because you went along with her madness, now her house of cards fell apart. Now they had to go and look for a reason to make you the problem.
Yeah.
And now from that point on, now you are a villain. Now you are a danger to the family. And now the police are going to be called on you if you come back without her consent.
Even thinking about it is still crazy. Mind you, I've never even raised my voice on her. Not even once. Everyone who surrounded us could attest to it, because normally I'm a very calm guy. But I've never had any issues with people and all that.
But they have the labels ready. The labels to make the man the bad guy. They are on the shelf. She just have to go and pick the labels and put them on you. And the society goes along with it. That's how they win. So now you are a danger to the family.
Yeah.
And she will have to do what she has to do to protect her family from you.
Oh, imagine that.
The guy who was in the middle of arranging a wedding 7 days prior.
Imagine.
Where?
Imagine that. Someone I've been with for over 7 years. I became a danger at that point.
And the auntie is pretending she does not know what is happening. The classic Kikuyu hypocrisy.
let me tell you, I could not. It's very unfortunate because I had put a camera in my son's room, and that camera used to record audio and visual as well. So that night when I was away, I could hear the whole conversation between her and her aunt talking about me as she was busy throwing my things in the garage while her aunt was helping her. So for her to pretend that she didn't even know anything was just
a classic Kikuyu, yes.
It was crazy. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Why?
It was crazy.
So you left.
Anyway,
and it's good. It's good you did not pick up the phone. So you can force her to put her words in writing. That was a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I pretty much picked up my things. Unawasimanga kuokotwa. Niliokotwa, nikakubali. I dusted myself off. I stayed in that hotel for like 3 weeks before I was looking for a place to stay. Of course, initially I got a place. I got a place to stay. I got my own place. So I said immediately that happened. Now I said, you know what? I was advised by a good friend of mine who actually follows you a lot. He's been in the same situation. Same situation. So he told me, bro, this is how you do it now. Tomorrow first thing, make sure it's either you or her. Make sure you're put on child support. And I did exactly that. So by the time they were processing the child support, a few months had gone past. So now the child support services came back to me and told me, now we're going to calculate from the day you left that house.
Oh, so you are self-reporting yourself for child support?
Yeah.
Yeah. Preemptively?
Yes. Because you know what happens? You have a private arrangement with the girl. It has happened way too many times. You have a private arrangement. You take care of the child up until 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case. The worst case I've had was 16 years. So the girl wakes up one day, and because now she finds out that the guy has moved on, he's happier with someone else, she goes to child support and says, this guy doesn't take care of his child. We separated this time. So automatically, they backdate it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you end up having a debt.
And the system says, you do not involve us in your private arrangement. It does not apply here. You get 0 credit for it. Because the system is invested in separation of families. In Texas, the state of Texas collects child support. 98% from the fathers, obviously.
Yeah.
For every dollar they collect from the father, the federal government gives them 87 cents. 87%.
Wow.
For
Imagine
every
that.
1,000 they collect from a father, an uncustodian father, the federal government gives them, the state of Texas, $870 to continue
Wow.
enforcing child support collection. Administrative incentive.
Mm.
I know it doesn't make sense what I just said.
It doesn't make sense.
The state of Texas is invested in breaking families because they are incentivized by the federal government to ensure that they collect money from separated families. So private arrangements are not only discouraged, they are punished. The same way now you are about to tell me.
Yeah.
So the state of Texas will side with a woman when she says, oh no, that was our private arrangement and it should not count as a credit. The state of Texas is going to stand right there next to the woman and say, you did not involve us in your payment for child support for your child. So you get zero credit for it. Now you owe for the 16 years, as you were alluding with your friend.
Imagine that.
Yes.
And here in Australia, it's very bad because if you have that kind of debt, you will not step out of the airport.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you will not step out of the airport.
Wow.
And the same thing happened to me. So as soon as I lodged, she said, no, this guy never sends me anything. So the child support asked, in the statements, in the bank statements you were sending her, did you include the description? Yes. What did you include? Child support. That's what saved me.
What do you mean?
Because I made sure that with every payment I sent,
Oh,
I added.
the memo.
Yes.
The memo on the payments.
Yes.
It had to say child support.
It had to say child support.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had self-reported yourself, and the system prorated you from the day you left the house.
Yes.
So you had no incurred unpaid.
No, they said I had already incurred.
Okay.
But I had to provide the evidence that I have been paying, and I had been putting the description as child support.
Why? Once beaten, twice shy. Your body knew what exactly to do with the system.
He knew exactly what to do with it.
And at this moment, you are conscious enough to listen. Because again,
absolutely,
it's very rare, even in that situation, because the men are still driven by this need to prove that they are the good person. They still, even when you're saying that you're getting evicted to the house you are paying rent to, you continued paying rent to a house that you are no longer living in because you wanted to be the good guy.
Yeah.
There is no reward for good guys.
There's no. If I could give someone some advice out there, I would tell them the more, because for me, like my case, the more I tried to help her, even after we've separated, it's like the more I tried to help her, the more she kept trying to bring me down. Because even after all that saga, like we got the child support sorted out and all that, as soon as she found out that I got another contract, I don't even know how she found out. But as soon as she found out that I got another contract, she went and reported me to the same child services and said, this guy, he has some money somewhere. And they hiked my child support.
They don't have a minimum review period that you cannot go for a review until this amount of time has elapsed?
No, it can change anytime.
And dependent on the words of the woman?
Dependent on the words of the woman. As soon as she says, I think he has another job, I think he got another contract, they'll call you and ask, is this true? You had this and this, is this true? Of course, you can't deny because they have the records. It's just formalities.
But if you lost a job and you self-report for deduction, that one is on deaf ears.
Yes, that one is on them. That one they'll accept.
What is the tweet I wrote today? Let me check the tweet I wrote today. Where is the tweets? I wrote a tweet today. It's going to resonate with what you're saying. I said, for a man, the flavor of life is in pain. Men embrace pain. Women embrace darkness.
Right on point.
Where?
Right on point.
Man, I'm having an out-of-body experience right now. Holy moly. The flavor of life for a man is pain. Men embrace pain. Women embrace darkness. So you get through the handle of child support.
Yeah.
You got a new contract. She reported you. Your amount was hiked. Okay. So where do you go from here?
So now back to the statements I was sending. I mean, whatever I was giving her, because I started paying as soon as I left that house, I started sending her money for child support.
Yeah.
So it ended up whatever I was sending to her was even more than what the child support, what the all child support assessment came to.
Yes.
So up until this day, they still credit that money I used to send her.
No way.
Yeah.
You got ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Up until this day, they still credit that money I used to send.
Yeah. So there is an elephant in the room here. Did the child support system help you to determine the paternity of your child?
No, that's the other thing. They don't actually do that. I think it's a court system. You have to go through the courts or something like that. It's a long system.
In Texas, I don't know about other states. In Texas, when a woman takes you to child support, obviously women do it 99% of the time. The court system offers a free paternity test.
Wow.
And you have to say whether you want it. Now it's upon the man to say, okay, let's do it, or to say, no, I'm good. depended
Oh,
on.
wow. That's a good system.
So, do you think you need one?
I think I need to. I mean, my son looks like me, to be honest.
You looked the years, and
It's,
the village people say they had seen your great grandfather and looks has the same
yeah,
forehead.
yes.
Uh-huh.
So,
I'm,
I'll do it.
I just got a phone call from the devil, and I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. So, and the mission here is to put doubt in you that the whole enterprise is predicated on the fact that that is not your child.
Do you know, I've thought about it, and I've actually sat down and thought about it both ways. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'll do it eventually. Now that's another story. When I get the chance, because she started playing games, so I haven't been able to see my son. And I got to a place where I said, no more games.
If there was no child support involved, and everything else stayed constant, where you want to go see your son and she makes it impossible to see your son. If there was no child support involved, she would have slipped it in there. This is not even your child. But there is a monetary value. She is 3 years older than you. I don't know your life more than the 45 minutes we have talked. But the events that led to her pushing you to kill your own business should guide you to a path that you've been scared to peep and see what is behind the curtains.
Mm.
3 years older than you are. And she already had a system in place to replace you the moment she kicked you out of the house.
Yeah.
The problem is not the women. Women are going to do what women do. But the pattern is the same. Remember the guy from Australia that was educating a girl, and the girl would not sleep with him because he is the father now. I mean, if you're educating a grown woman, then she has to see you as a father figure. So she denied him sex. The Australian guy. The guy from Cameroon on episode 43 educated a girl through university, got her job, started her business, and then she got a son, and one day she got up and left with the son. I was telling that guy that that son is not his for obvious reasons. What men need is information. And what men have been scared to do, both by themselves and by the conditioning of the feminists, is to gather information on how to understand women. Women's psychology is out there for everybody to connect the dots. So,
yeah.
And again, I just got a phone call from the devil. What is the harm of finding out that you are sending money and resources and help and emotional attachment to a child that is actually yours. What is the harm?
Yeah.
And I can tell in your voice, this is the biggest elephant in the room. This is the one place that you have not brought yourself to disentangle from because of the attachment. I was telling the same guy from California, from Cameroon. I was telling him about the American TV shows, about a reality show, a real show, where men go to a paternity test court, and there are obviously a child involved, and the judge says 99.999 accuracy, you are not the father. 74% of the same guys who hear that message, their first sentence out of their mouth is they still want to be in the life of the child. We will in the future understand what the phenomenon is, but those are the statistics. The science did not change their mind. The science told them, this is not your child. Oh, I have been raising them like my own. I still want to be in the life of the child. The woman has moved on. The woman have a parallel arrangement of the books with the actual father of the child. Again, now we come back to you. If there was no child support coming, in one of those times that she makes it impossible for you to see your child, she would have let it slip. Huyu mtoto hata sio wako.
Wow.
Again, I am just doing the devil's bidding by poisoning a very innocent guy who was before today very happy to have a 3-year-old son that he loves so much and wants to be in their life no matter what kind of difficulties the mother is putting them through. All those things are very beautiful and very real. Yeah, but get the validation from science.
Yeah. I will.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper than child support. And what could possibly go wrong? Nothing.
Yeah.
Either everything remains the same, or you find that you are wasting time and resources and emotional attachment on somebody else's child, and you're free to go.
Wow.
Your friend, the one who told you to get ahead of the child support, he never told you that part. I know he has. I know he has. He sounds like a brutal guy like me. Those insensitive guys that don't care about people's emotions.
Yeah. There's some similarities.
Yeah, I know those
But
kind
nah,
of people.
it's
Those
a good
heartless human beings.
Yeah.
He never brought that up.
No, he's never brought it up.
Is that child your only hope?
No. No. No.
Man. It's tough being a man. It is tough being a man. There is no menu, there is no comparing notes, there is no learning from anybody else's mistake. This world is very cruel for a man. And more so because the modern man has no control. There is nothing he's making happen. Things are happening to him. The system is laid out, clean cut against him. One of my most popular videos is the video where I told young men at the age of 30 about the realities of the expectation of an adult male.
Yeah.
The system is rigged against the man. Intentionally, deliberately, on purpose, systemically.
Yeah.
There is nowhere you would be in a position to put her through what she has put you through, and the society would not come after you.
Oh, of course.
You cannot throw her out of the house and she go live in a motel. You don't have that vantage point. You continue paying rent even after getting evicted because that's how rigged the society is. You still have to continue providing. If you had come into that relationship with a child, that day would have been the end of the relationship between that child and her. But you are living in this gray, uncertain area where you don't know whether her child is yours. And the society looks the other way and continue collecting child support without ever having verified that point. They cannot make a woman do that, but they force you to do that.
Yeah.
Why? So you got ahead of the child support problem. You got enough credit to carry you a few years.
Yeah.
You moved on with your life.
Yes.
Is this now where the Kenyan community comes in?
No, that came in between when we had the businesses because so what happened is there was a contract that didn't go well.
Okay.
And this was with someone from Indian community.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the Indian community was trying to get information. The client was trying to get some information from the community about me.
Okay.
So the same representatives, that these are people that we used to drink together, laugh together, do all those things together, are the same people who are now asking from my friends this information about me. So as in the same leaders are trying to give me out to another community.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not understand how, you can do such things to your own people.
Yeah, because you have a need to belong. And that need now becomes a vulnerability. And that vulnerability now has potential to be exploited against you.
Yeah.
Because you have the need. If you never needed to belong to a Kenyan community or African community or black people's community, then there would be no vulnerability there.
Yeah.
But the moment you package yourself as belonging to this faction, that in itself, even though for you are seeking strength, a sense of belonging, a sense of community, that now in the hands of the wrong people becomes an exploitable vulnerability.
Yeah.
I was talking to a literal madman who lives under the bridge. In 2022, I have the video on YouTube. And he said something very profound. He said, a man can never be free. It's impossible for a man to be totally free. You can only be free from vulnerabilities. Everything you attach yourself to, that becomes a vulnerability. If you can free yourself from all vulnerabilities, then you can claim some form of freedom. So the moment you attach yourself to a community, now that becomes a vulnerability. And somebody else who wants to go against you, they can exploit that need for you to belong to that group. Because somebody else like you, but does not belong to that community, there is no vulnerability there.
Yeah.
They're completely oblivious of that weakness because that is not their path. And the only thing that's different between them and you is that need in you to belong to a certain function of people simply because you came from the same piece of dirt. I have never understood it, and that is just my life. I do not see any value in congregating with the same people that came from the same dysfunction that I came from. I came here for something new, something fresh, something more meaningful. So why would I congregate with people who shared the dysfunction of the piece of dirt that we came from? I don't see it. But that's just me. Whatever gain I was supposed to get from there, I offer it to them to distribute it amongst themselves. Now they have double portion. I don't want it. I do not need it. If my life gets to a point where the only thing that can sustain my life is that need, I am happy for my life to end at that point. It's vanity. They are selling you something that is not real so that they can attach you to a vulnerability. It's that simple. It's a manipulative tactic. Whatever it is I'm missing, I am oblivious of it. And even if I became aware of it, I would still vote not to have it. Yep. So that's how they sank your second business now. Is this a business that she was telling you to choose between her and the business?
Yeah, that was the first business, yes.
Did you start the business before her or with her?
The first one I started with her.
Why was she hell-bent on killing it?
I've never understood why, because okay, at that point I was saying, okay, maybe she doesn't understand the struggles that come with a business. So I gave her that at the time when I was thinking, I gave her that benefit of that. Okay, maybe she doesn't understand how it works and all that. So I let it go. So when I started the second business again, same issues. Oh, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, I don't want that. It says you choose the business or me. Okay, you choose the business. Okay, I want the business to be named like this. That doesn't sound like a brand to me. Okay, whatever, we'll go with whatever you want. So I picked the name. It was not catchy. It was not going anywhere. It got to a place where now I just, like I said, I gave up. I lost my vision. I could not think past trying to please her. So at that point, I totally gave up. I sold the company assets and I said, whatever happens, happens. So it got to a place where it just stagnated. I wasn't doing anything. I went back and looked for shift work. And I stayed there for some time up until now when I started my conscience could not. My conscience could not let me just sit like that, knowing that I have a product that I can take out there and do something with it and do something with my life. So yeah, it just never worked out with that one. So now, as soon as after she left and all that, then I started getting back my vision slowly, and things just started opening up. Things just started opening up. And up to this day, I can tell you for sure, I can never look back. Yes, they're not 100% where I'd like them to be. There's no 100%, but the progress I've made since I left that house has been tremendous, both personally, emotionally, name it, as a man.
So that's what she was trying to kill.
Yeah.
I hear people in Kenya, because of the connotations of the multicultural beliefs, talking about kuibiwa nyota. Right?
Exactly.
So she could see how bright your star shines. And she knew instinctively you and her cannot be together in the future. So she wanted to destroy you so that you are no longer appealing to any other person. That's why I'm asking you, why is she hell-bent on killing a business that the two of you started together? Because she could not see a future with you. So the business cannot thrive, because then you would be favorable to another woman. Remember, when she walked in and she told you she wanted to suspend the wedding, and you said, okay, what did she do next? She said, let me have your phone. Because she knew. She knew you had gotten ahead of her. She wanted to destroy you before and put you in a position where you are just a shell of a person, and diminish that shine, that formula of business that she could see you have naturally, so that no other woman can give you the right of day. So the moment you said, okay, she was like, shit, there's another woman in the picture. And there was. She was right. And then that's why she asked for your phone. She wanted to kill your shine, so that when she chew you and spit you out, you become a statistic.
Yeah.
But your conscience is so strong, and your purpose just stayed alive. And that's what she hates now. So now she's going to sit there and milk the resources through the court system until the day you decide to confirm whether the child is yours. Then if the test comes negative that the child is not yours, she's going to walk away like nothing happened. And the court system is going to hold her hand, and they are going to walk on a paved road until they vanish in the horizon like nothing happened.
Just thinking about it is just making my mind go inside.
Like nothing happened. You'll be asking for a referral. They're like, huh? They, in Kikuyu, the ancient Kikuyu, I'm very privileged to know the ancient Kikuyu. There is a proverb they say, Joranago. It's a full sentence, just 2 words. Joranago. It's when you go to the witch doctor and you have to pay a goat or whatever you pay for whatever happens, whatever your request is, and then you go and your request was not granted, and you go back to the witch doctor and you say, hey, you need to refund the money because This did not happen. And the witch doctor said, we do not do refunds here. The Australian court system is going to tell you, we do not do refunds. If you were the woman, we would help you get your money back. But you are a man. Just go and make some more money. Let the woman disappear. Let me even give her a head. And they got to watch all the way to the shores of the Pacific. What ocean is over there? Is it the Pacific?
The Pacific, it is, yeah.
Is the Pacific there?
Yeah, the Pacific, yeah.
Bro, such is the life of a man. Tupende, tusipende. All we need is information. Your buddy had the information, so he told you how to get ahead of the court system. That kind of information is what you need. Your child is 3 years old. You are holding on to a 3-year information. Get ahead of that as you move to the next stage. So why?
I will.
Why is there a court order for child support but not for shared custody? What is happening here?
So the story is actually when we separated, the usual games, trying to keep the child away from me as punishment. So I had to get custody through. Okay, we didn't go through the courts. I just got a lawyer, and she was summoned because she was coming up with all these useless things. Like I said, now become a threat. So she was saying if I have to see the child, she has to supervise me. She has to come to my house and see where I take my child. My goodness. So I said, I'm not going to deal with all this bullshit. I just got a lawyer. She was summoned. She was told, look, it's 50-50. So pretty much that's what happened. So it's 50-50, but she still plays those games. And I said, I'm not going to keep wasting money on lawyers to see my child. So I told her, if that's what you want, that's okay. I'm enough with the games.
So you found out very quickly that the system is rigged against you.
Yeah.
If the roles were reversed, the system would bend backwards to serve her. And the only thing that you have to your advantage, your own rip code, you are hesitant to pull it. But I'm the bad guy for pointing that out. I want my medal. I want my medal for bad guy. Me, I don't have a problem. Me, I don't have vulnerabilities of being called in the label. Yeah. Man, you are 30 years old.
Yeah.
And you have been kept in this uncertainty that you cannot even plan the future of your child, if he is your child, without the inclusion of the mother. You cannot move on to another relationship because there is something here that is like a dark cloud over you, and you don't know whether it's going to rain or it's going to dissipate. And briefly, just when you're talking about how you go to the lawyer and you discuss all these things, and she's saying that she has to come inspect your house, I want to take you back to the hope you had the day you left Kenya at 21? 20?
Yeah. 20, I think it was 21, yeah.
The hope and the anticipation and the dream of the opportunity to go to a new country and start a new life. None of these things were on the list of the to-do list.
Absolutely.
None of those things that have happened to you were on the list of the to-do list at 20 at JKIA. Shine and bright and hopeful and anticipatory. I made a similar mistake. I have repeated it multiple times. And just like you, my conscience was very strong. So when I could see my purpose dissipating, I stood up in the middle of the living room and I looked at this woman in the face and I asked her, you want to tell me there is a God in heaven and a devil in hell that are in agreement that the next 70 years of my life is going to be like this? That is now my portion. This dysfunction here, I have to bear with it. For the sake of religion, for the sake of family, for the sake of children, for the sake of friends, for the sake of social construct. You want to tell me there is a God in heaven and a devil in hell that have conspired together and said, yes, George, for the next 70 years, this is your life. And I told her, go tell that God to go fuck himself. Go tell that devil to go to hell. I am not going to live that life. I don't know much, but that much I know. I am not going to conform to social constructs. I'm not going to conform to family, to the society, to friendship. Hey, what will people say? Those people, go fuck yourself. This is my life, and I'm reclaiming it from this point on. I did not know much, bro. I did not have enough information. I was probably the same age you are. I did not know anything. I go back and look at that situation. And I'm like, I was as clueless as the next guy. But that much, I knew. I knew this cannot be it. I did not come this far to be stuck in this dysfunction. Any extra minute, ni me kata. Fuck your religion. Fuck your family board. Fuck your social construct. Fuck what people would say. I am studying for me. I don't know what that looks like, but it doesn't look like this. That much I knew. And bro, I'm telling you, when I tell you I did not know anything, I did not know anything. Things were happening to me. I never made anything happen until that point. And now, you and I are the exception.
Definitely.
Married men for 50, 40 years are in that situation right now because they did not have the balls to say this is not sustainable. They have been sustaining dysfunction and misery and heartache, lost purpose, lost flame, lost manhood. And now things have continued happening to them. They have completely lost control. It would be comical if it was not that much serious. Because now even the future generation depended on the decisions you make now. You at 30, me at 30.
Yeah.
Where do we move from here? I have spent almost 10 years making these cumulative mistakes. Now my conscience is telling me, hey, wake up. Choose you. That decision right there is the one that is going to determine, number one, the quality of the life you are going to live all by yourself, and the quality of life that you are going to offer your children. That decision. And now the opposite is also true. The indecisiveness of 99% of the married people that are staying for the children, are staying for the church, staying for the friends, staying for the family. They chose diminished value of the quality of life. The same children they are staying for, they are offering the short end of the stick. Because it's better to move out and offer a safe space for the children, away from the dysfunction, away from them seeing you getting emasculated and diminished and weakened and completely dominated in a situation that is very lopsided, especially for a boy to see, than staying in this dysfunction. And your son is like, why can't you do better? Why are you continually making the wrong choices? And you're there helpless. And now the next generation, by no fault of themselves, they repeat the same cycle. And this is now on the part of the man, because you told me, even on her part, she repeated her own cycle of her own mother.
Yeah.
But now this is the other side of the man, which matters the most. Because we are custodians of mankind. Bro, mimi nilisema hapana. Everybody go fuck yourself. I'll choose me, and that's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I know. Literally, the only thing I know, that I'm choosing me. The best decision I have ever made in my life. With the least information, with the least courage, with the least experience, with the least foresight, with the least everything. The best decision I've ever made in my life. Both for myself and for my children.
Wow.
Bro, you are taking me back to a very dark place. Very dark place. Very, very, very dark place. You have the formula for success. It does not matter what the product is. What matters is that you now, your identity is success. You lost your purpose for a minute there and you went back to employment. Is that not what you called shift jobs?
Yeah.
And you found that, why am I here? And now, just between me and you, not that I'm generalizing it, you say to yourself, this is for losers. I have the formula to succeed. And you went back to your purpose, to your essence, to where you thrive, to where you succeed, to where you excel, to where you feel wanted and needed and in service to yourself and to mankind.
Yeah.
And to look back now, me, I have what? 20-something years of hindsight 2020. You are barely eclipsing. You're still mired in it. You're still dusting yourself. You're still climbing. You're still eliminating all this extra weight. But I'm telling you, the other side is so beautiful. The other side is so peaceful. The other side has so much clarity and solitude and peace of mind. It is crazy to imagine that men do not choose that. And you will eventually see it for yourself. and you're going to create an environment, whether it's with the child or with your future children. Because what matters here is children, not women. Our service is to mankind. Women's service is to the universe. So what matters is the children you raise and how you raise them, in what environment, and what you can provide for them. On your own terms. And that's a preserve for a very few that are courageous enough to choose themselves. I'm talking about only about men.
Yeah.
So how did you reconcile the eventualities with your parents, both your mother and your father separately? Because both of them saw different things.
How did I?
How did you ever sit down and talk with your parents and told your mom she was right? Did you sit down with your father and tell your father, I now see what you meant? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. Especially my dad. As soon as he heard what happened, I was I was so embarrassed to tell him because I knew he was right. But he just he took it and said, son, it's life. It is what it is. Now you've learned the hard way. Now you've learned your way.
Wow.
So it's okay. It happened. But from the onset, I think for him, he was just like, oh, when is it going to happen? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from his tone, he was just like, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But they were very happy, at least, bittersweet. They were happy it ended, there's time wasted, so many things I could have done within almost those 10 years. It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time. But at least they were happy. It ended. It got to a point where it just ended.
But you still have 70 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. With clarity and character development. Sasa ukiwahi jirudisha kwa hiyo mtego tena, hiyo shida ni yako. You'll be like that. Have you seen that video of a goat in a house, and there's a chimney with fire, and the goat keep going inside the chimney, inside the fire?
Yes, I've seen it.
Now, from that point on, now ukijiingiza kwa moto tena, sasa wewe uchinjwe ukulwe nyama.
I just remember that friend I'm talking about. He told me because walinisaidia kuhama.
Yeah.
Bro, I moved out with a trailer.
Huh?
Just a trailer, because I just left with my clothes. Gari kila kitu niliacha. Everything I left. Just my clothes.
Yeah.
So he was telling me, this is the first and the last time I'm doing this. Nakusaidia kuhama.
After this, you are no longer my friend.
If you call me again, utaniona.
That has to be my twin. That is my twin.
Yeah? He came through for me.
Man.
Yeah. So if there's anyone out there who can learn from this, let them learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to Kenya since?
No, I haven't. I plan to go this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are you now interacting with the Kenyan community in Australia, knowing their true colors?
Oh, I kept my distance long time. I kept my distance.
My friend.
Yeah. I don't attend those things, those cultural things they do.
And those events are led by women.
Yeah.
For a reason. The church is designed to serve the women for a reason. I'm putting two complete separate things as if they are related. Because they are.
Yeah.
Because they are.
Yeah.
When men go to business seminars, they go alone, dependent on their needs. Nobody comes and tell you, hey, there is this seminar about how to scale a business. Hey, do you want to go with me? No. But these are the nonsense. These are the nonsense. They will put posters and placards and WhatsApp updates and add everybody so that you go there because that's where women thrive. In social settings. For a reason. It's their hunting ground. So if you eliminate that need, then you are untouchable. And the Tufukusui is hate untouchables. Because what happens is women are very smart. Women don't want to appear as aggressive. So instead of communicating their message, they recruit weak men to do the bidding on their behalf. So the messaging now is coming from a man with a man's voice. So you don't know you are speaking to a woman. And that's why it's so dangerous when married men say anything, because they are communicating what the messaging is from the women part. That's why the pastors thrive. The pastor is glorified because he perpetuates the messaging of the women, not just his wife, the women in general. That's why he's such a glorified figure, because him and the women are in agreement for a nation. Wholly, fully accepted. You see in every community, and I don't even know how Kenyans in Australia or South Sudanese in Australia behave. They choose one man, and they apportion all the respect on him, preferably a pastor.
Yeah.
That is the one that does social engineering on their behalf. If you go now in North America, if you go on the Kwitu manifestos, and you see the events they are planning, and you see the speaker, one or two men, those two men, that is the link between the woman's messaging and the man's world. And the moment they put a male figure there, now the men are like, oh, okay. They are there to sanitize it. And now the messaging from the women is coming through a man's voice, just like that one of the past. And so they start propagating the ideologies and the messaging and the conditioning from that other side, but with a male voice. Most dangerous fuckers. Do you remember one time some Kenyan pastor called me on the phone wanting to talk to Kibe, and I recorded him.
Yeah.
When Kibe was having a fight with Gashambi.
Yeah.
Those kind of men. Those kind of men. It's a shell of a human being. It's a male adult. But the messaging is from the woman. Very dangerous human beings.
Yeah.
And the women know exactly which one to pick up and prop and put all the respect and the adoration on that one. And then they socio-engineer him through the ass. And now he's going to be speaking through the ass. Literally.
Yeah.
Stupid fuckers.
Yeah.
Man, you have taken me to a very dark place, man.
Bro, I'm writing a book. I said this one it has to be penned down.
Eh? It's going to say what? I was shown Kanyoni Wangede in Australia.
I'm still looking. I'm still looking for a good title, bro. My son cannot go through this. He has to learn. You know, they say it has to end with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I have that privilege now to shape and direct and enrich the direction that my son takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is next for you? You still speaking with that other Kikuyu woman that is doing push-ups in heaven to Okota you in the future?
We don't talk. I cut communication completely.
Uh-huh.
We don't talk.
So she was also a Kikuyu?
Yeah.
So you have a thing for drama?
I used to hear it before, but I thought I was going to be different. I thought my story was going to be different. Shock on you.
Man, I will send you a link to a conversation I had with a guy we call Mr. USIU. The Indian looking Pakistani guy in London. And I was telling him, a man needs 3 different women in his life. The mother of the children, the one for sex, and the one for companionship. And they cannot, one woman cannot offer those 3 things.
Wow.
And so you have to decide for yourself, what do you want from a woman? And you can only get one thing from each woman. And the problem is, men learn from mistakes. So, do you think your son's mother is the best mother for your son?
Oh, no. Oh, absolutely not.
So now that is -1 for you. So now your next choice has to be better than that. And then some. And in the meantime, you have to step in there and correct that for your son. With the conscious mind that you have to do better on the next child. This is not about the woman. On the next child. I was listening to a space today, and they were playing a recording of me saying that the primary duty of a man is to protect his seed. Be very careful where you pour your seed. Not your child, your seed. You pour it in the wrong woman, it's on you.
Yeah.
From that point on, your next 70 years, and from that point on, your child's 100 years. That's how effective, that's how dangerous it is to choose the wrong woman. Your primary duty should be to protect your seed. And we all fall short of it. There's nothing unique about you or me. But it's what we do with the lessons of the mistakes. So now, we have to create a generation of young men that are very deliberate in choosing where they pour their seed. Make the right choices for the mothers. Bro, even before I finish this sentence, sometimes I joke with my children and I tell them, I'm very sorry I did not choose the best mother for you. I mean, jokingly. Their mothers are very good mothers, but jokingly. So we have to create a generation of men with the information on how to be very deliberate on choosing mothers of their children. Because 100% of the time, the man is just fucking. The consciousness of the choices, that is on the women. Because women's service, women's response and duty is to nature. Ours is to mankind. So for them, they are very deliberate on choosing the mate. We need to incorporate that consciousness ourselves. See beyond this thing that blinds us. Remember when I was telling you in the Kikuyu language, they say there are two different worlds and a third universe for a man in love. We need to see beyond that world of love, because just like rain clouds, that love dissipates very quickly, and leave behind a mess of wetness and mud. So we need to be very, very, and are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening.
And that is what Elon Musk is doing.
Yeah.
Being very selfish. Remember, Elon Musk has 7 children from bad mistakes. He himself said that, right?
Yeah.
So even when he was talking to Jordan Peterson, he was saying the first batch of the children. And now he was talking about this X, the boy. He said he is the oldest of this new batch. And you're going to notice in this new batch, every decision he is making is very deliberate, is very intentional. Because he has learned from the mistakes of the very first batch, the poor choices. And we are the front row to see some of those poor choices because of how the mother turned his son into a woman. Those kind of bad choices. So we may never have to go to those extremes, but nonetheless, we have to be very deliberate. And we need to create a society where young men are conscious of that also. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man. I needed this more than you thought you needed this.
It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And like I said, I wish we could have more men just speak up, because trust me, we are many.
Yeah.
We are many going through the same thing, or even worse. Yeah.
The more people see people like you that have overcome the vulnerabilities of not speaking out, the more they get emboldened themselves to normalize speaking out. Because before now, the only people with the message were married men, and married men do not say anything. So the young man has always normalized that relationships ni kuvumilia. That is the message that is coming from the other side.
Yeah.
And they are creating dysfunctional children and dysfunctional relationships and dysfunctional environments where children cannot thrive. So what good is coming out of that?
Yeah.
So kudos to you for wanting to speak up and share your situation so somebody else can have a pause and rethink and retrace their steps in whichever way, in whichever version, at whatever stage these people are in. Because this life is a journey, man. I am prone to making more mistakes than I have made in the past. I am prone to that. The difference is I'm conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm conscious of that. So I double check myself. I consult my conscience. I start on business. I start on my purpose. Every choice I make, every decision I make has to align with my purpose. Because purpose is your lifeline. Once a man loses a purpose, that's an 18-wheeler downstream without brakes. Catastrophe.
Yeah.
Catastrophe.
Oh, it's a dark place.
Yeah.
It's a dark place.
Man. What? Umekapitia, bro. You know, I am the guy saying here, kube mimi hata sio, I am not alone.
Yeah, but I survived. I survived, bro. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the past. It's in the past now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to close your T's and dot your I's and make sure that you are spending your resources in the right people.
Yeah, that one definitely. I'll work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stay away from hard drama in every way possible. Because, and I think I responded to you on that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Remember, I actually alluded to that. I said she wanted to destroy your dream.
Yeah.
And the societies in the Western world give women the power to do exactly that. That's why she was insinuating that she can call the police on you and get you in trouble. That is the trap that you escaped. And a woman does not do that for no reason. That's why. That you have to do that test. There's something going on there, bro.
Yeah.
Na mimi sio mtu mzuri. Mimi sina haja na uzuri. I don't know what to do with uzuri. Something is going on there. The pattern leads to, there is another guy in the picture that holds a better position and a more bargaining power. And both of you are getting chasewood at the same time. Yep. All right?
Okay. Thank you very much.
I wish you the best, man. Keep winning in your business. I know the feeling you had when you left your business and went back to employment. You are like, what am I doing here? Why am I wasting my life away? Just keep shining, bro. Keep shining.
Thanks, bro.
That amount of freedom and power and success that comes from you running your own things, it's a preserve for a very few percentage in every society. Enjoy that. Embrace all the pains, all the turns, all the challenges, because you are a man. You are made to solve problems. If you run out of problems to solve, anza kujishuku. Nikikiraji na bere haha.
Yeah.
Remember that tweet I made?
Yeah.
The favor of life for a man is pain. Embrace pain.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right?
Wow. Thanks for everything you do as well.
Thank you, man.
A good job.
Thank you for today. I think I needed this more than you needed it.
You're welcome.
Shit, man. You took me back in a very, 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 very sketchy time of my life, and I don't even know how I got out of that, man. I have no idea. Yeah. All I know is the little information I had was helpful, and I'll forever be in a better place. Here on earth, me, I'm not waiting for a better place in heaven. I'm having a bet. I'm bringing the heaven down here with me every single moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you all the best, man. Keep winning, keep succeeding. Do the right thing by you. Be very selfish. Be very selfish with your resources. Be very selfish with your time. Be very selfish with yourself.
Thank you, bro.
All right?
Yeah.
Good luck, man. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. You too.